Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're going to try something. I wanted to see if we could build an artifact aggro deck with no defense, all offense, and see how many wins we can get. Let's go check it out. Okay, so for starters, one of the ways we're going to be able to force through some creatures is going to be with Skrelv. Obviously, Skrelv's good. It can make your stuff hard to block. We love it. We do also want a few flyers. Just in case the board gets gummed up, we can come over the top, so it's going to leave us playing Swooping Lookout. It's not the best card, but it does actually have Vigilance, and we have a few ways to pump it up, so it could end up being pretty important. Now, we do have Teething Wormlet that grows every time we play an artifact, and I guess technically we do have a little bit of life gain, so that's sort of defense, but not really. Just kind of a victim of circumstance there. We are going to play Machiko's Reign of Truth because with a bunch of artifacts, obviously, this is going to often be +4 to +6. So that's going to be great. We have some Gallic Readers, mostly to make the treasure so we can actually trigger all of our stuff that cares about artifacts coming into play. We're going to be playing the Ozoliths because we have enough things that actually can get +1/+1s, but also this can just pump up creatures by itself if we need it to. Speaking of getting a lot of artifacts, we are going to play Tough Cookie because playing this is getting 2 artifacts, right? You get the creature and you get the food, which is actually pretty awesome. And that's actually pretty big whenever you have something like Yoshin Dissident already on the battlefield, because now you get 2 +1/+1 counters, maybe more than that if you already have an Ozolith. So lots of cool stuff you can get here. Now you start to see the puzzle pieces kind of all coming together. We are going to be playing a ton of artifacts, so we do have Patchwork Automaton. This makes a lot of sense here because the majority of our cards happen to be artifacts. We're going to be playing some Simian Simulacrum. We played this in a deck recently a few days ago, and it was actually very fun, so we're going to lead with this. And then coming back to that whole flyer situation, we are going to play Steel Seraph, which again is able to get some lifelink, so if we need it in a pinch. But this is mostly about giving something flying so the board isn't gummed up and we can try to finish the opponent. So yeah, those are going to be the key cards we're playing today. If you want the full deck list, it'll be at the end of the video like always, or you can go right down to the description, look for the blue arrows. It'll take you to our Moxfield link where you can get today's deck and a pile of other decks already ready to go for standard, depending on what you're looking for. For now though, we're going to see if all offense beats anyone's defense. Okay, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. Let's go ahead and keep it. This is a little tough because we do want to get the Ozolith down at some point, but I mean, going Automaton into Steel Seraph is actually pretty sweet. But we'll see what the opponent has going on here. They might just be playing a bunch of counters for all we know, so let's go ahead and play this, which is likely to get countered here. But we do get to still get in with a 2/2 Automaton. Yeah, we assumed that was coming, so we're not too hurt over that. Opponent missed there, so guess we're just going to go with this. Because if this have another Make Disappear, we're just going to pump this Automaton again. I mean, I was going to say, I'd make us pay for it too, because this would be a big hit here. Yeah, we're definitely going to pay. But that would have been 2 more counters, so that would have been a 5-ball right there, which would have been huge. Alright, now we're not even worried about the opponent having a Make Disappear with our other Steel Seraph. We're going to go ahead and pump this duder, since they can't do anything about it. We're going to give this lifelink and attack. Alright, that should be it, even if the opponent finds a land here. Yeah. You know, often I feel bad for opponents who only get 2 land, because that sucks. I've been there. Can make it hard to play Magic, but their plan was basically to lean on countering everything and then do some crazy stuff. So I don't feel that bad about it, but yeah, we'll take a win. This isn't the best win. I'm not going to lie. We need to find some better competition here. This is wild. I feel like I already can't win because I'm playing against Goku's Dragon Balls. And those are like some of the most powerful things in the whole universe, right? At least that's what my Dragon Ball Z friends tell me. I tried watching Dragon Ball Z once upon a time for a few episodes, and it wasn't for me. Don't hate anybody who enjoys it, honestly. It's obviously super popular, but I mean, you know, watching dudes monologue forever didn't really get me going. Alright, so here's the thing. If they have a way to counter something... You know what, I'm just going to attack with... am I going to attack with Skrelv? Thinking. I kind of want to attack with Skrelv, see if they do something. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, they didn't. So I guess this Automaton would get countered, huh? This sucks. Alright, I'm going to do it anyway. Oh, they didn't have it. What? So they didn't even have a cut down. They didn't have a counter. Like, what type of opener did they keep? Literally in my brain, I'm like, that's obviously why you're keeping this, right? Wow. Okay. Well, crap. We have some decisions to make here. I guess we go with this because it pumps the automaton. I kind of want to play Wormlet, and I kind of don't. In case there's a sweeper next turn. Makes me a little uncomfortable. But we'll see if they have a counter for this. They might, and then they sweep the board and we don't have anything, but it is what it is. Let's go. Because if they have it, I can't do nothing about it, you know? This is the disadvantage of playing all aggro. Alright, tag for 6. Yep, they're going to draw 2. Makes sense. Alright. I feel a depopulate coming on. Wandering Emperor we don't really care about because we can protect a creature with the Skrelv. And the Lookout doesn't even tap. Jace, alright, you alright. Whoa, wait. You're targeting us and not our creatures. You're just making us mill. Okay, cool.
No secret.
For some reason, that arrow looked like it went to the Swooping Lookout, and I'm not sure why. Alright, so this is going to be our last turn. Maybe we get another Machiko's Reign of Truth? I was going to say, that was probably our last chance to get anything big here. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8 is all we can do. We can do 9. Don't love that. Ah, boy. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This at the opponent. These two at Jace. Playing under the assumption that we will be... I'm going to hold on to the Beseju. For some reason, they might have like one of the white enchantments that exile something or whatever. But I'm playing under the idea that probably Sunfall happens here. I mean, this is their chance to get rid of the automaton. If they want a Wandering Emperor or something. Well, they can't Wandering Emperor because they still have to pay 2 more to target it. But anything smaller that could target it now would be the time. Alright, so want to cut down that? Sure. Have another cut down? No, they're just cycling. Wow. Man, can we find another Reign of Truth? Or actually, if we can even find maybe an Ozolith would do it. Oh, okay, Reign of Truth though, that's good. Alright, is this it? 2, 3. We play this as 4. We play this as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, does this do it by itself? So we have 2, 3. Well, they could bounce a thing, I guess. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6, 7, 8. That's exact 6. I'm going to do this just to be on the safe side. Alright. Oh, are they going to make me pay 2 mana for that? Oh, that would have sucked. Alright, now we're good. Just wanted to be on the safe side. Okay, this looks like a fun start. Let's see what we can do. Good old Skrelv. Oh, we're playing against this. Okay. Yeah, mono blue decks are tough. I mean, fortunately, we do have a lot of creatures. There's a bunch of things for them to have to counter. Which, we can live with that. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I guess if they're playing a version that flashes in something, we get wrecked, but... Bounce Gallagrators? No. Just Moment of Truth. Alright. Kind of had a lot of nothing here. What do I want to give them? I guess we just go with this. Knowing it's not likely to... Oh, it also resolved. What the hell's even happening right now? I'm gonna make a treasure here because I feel like that's gonna matter if we try to play like 2 things next turn if we draw the right cards. I'm just gonna attack for 1. And I did that just so if they did have something, we could use Skrelv, make it to where whatever they had couldn't block, that sort of thing. Here, I think we're just gonna see the good old Haughty Naughty, and then they'll have something to counter behind it. So we'll have to figure that out when the time comes. But they didn't even have that. Wow, I don't know what's going on right now, y'all. This opponent has just not had anything when we've expected them to have everything. So I'm a little lost. All right, let's go with this in case it gets countered. And Steel Seraph can actually block a Haughty Djinn later if necessary. Wow, I don't want to take another treasure here. Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's go. Gosh, +1 counter, I guess. And we'll put the counters from here on the automaton. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just shook right now. I don't know what's happening. How does the opponent have this many cards and isn't... Maybe they got all the, like, negates and we've just been playing creatures. Maybe that's the problem. I mean, if I leave Skrelv up, I'm trying to think how this goes badly, but sure. Guess we attack with these and just see what happens. Alright, it's Quick Study. They got more cards. Okay, that's a thing. Alright, there's the Djinn, which we expected a while ago, so not surprised that we see it now. Alright, so now we just get to start cycling through what cards we think, counters we think they have, I guess. I mean, we're going to be growing the automaton the whole way. I guess they just didn't get their creature counters, y'all. I got no other explanation for what's happening right now. I really don't. Yeah, I guess that means our Machiko's Reign of Truth is just kind of bad, right? Target this, obviously. I'm just trying to decide if I want to give it life. Yeah, we'll give it lifelink. And then... yeah, I guess we attack. Why not? Actually, if we attack with all of these, they're probably going to want to block the automaton, so that's fine. Let's do it. Alright. Like, I'm not wasting this on that. Like, that works out great for us. They're at 5. I mean, they have to get at least a bounce spell and another blocker. Well, not yet. Not yet. They still have time, actually. And we gained enough life that we're not at a real risk of losing yet. They could also have another Haughty Djinn, and that makes things a little dicey. Because then the only good attack we have is with Automaton, unless we could sneak through this Machiko's Reign of Truth. Oh, yep, see? They discarded the negates. That's what they had in hand. Now I'm going to try the Machiko's Reign of Truth, hoping that maybe they discarded all their negates, but I don't think that's what happened here. But it's possible. We'll find out. Would be nice if the opponent tapped down low enough that we could use Skrelv and not get our Automaton bounced. That would be pretty special. Don't know if we're going to get that lucky. Because if we can just make the Automaton not be able to be blocked by blue things, obviously that'd be really good. We'll see what happens, though. They're checking out the Skrelv right now. And if they have a situation where they have, like, 2 Fading Hopes or something, then they would be able to bounce the Skrelv now, then maybe bounce the Automaton on my turn, and that gets a little dicey. But then they'd also be low on mana, so then we could try to, like, cast both of those and the Machiko's Reign of Truth. So we'll see. There's definitely options here. That's for certain. And whatever we put the Machiko's Reign of Truth on has to get blocked by the Haughty Djinn or they die. But this is one of the things I've said about the mono blue deck for a long time, right? Is if you get early creatures, you kind of keep them on the back foot because now if they don't counter everything, then it gets real bad. Alright, so they've got 3 mana open, but obviously all their spells get reduced cost, so that matters. Let's try this first. Pretty sure it's not going to resolve. I mean, they've been sitting on negates forever. Unless they literally got rid of all the negates, assuming we only had creatures. Which is possible, because that's all they've seen. Alright, then I guess we put it on this guy, because if that gets blocked and returned to our hand, we don't really care. Mize? Like, we have another one as backup, so why not? Alright. Let's give this one lifelink. And let's give this one lifelink. And then we attack, attack, attack. I mean, they gotta find a way to deal with two things here, so I mean, whatever. And they almost have to dedicate blocks first, because if they wait and I prevent them from targeting one of our things and they don't have another follow-up, then now that thing can't be blocked by blue spells. Or by blue creatures. Yeah, I don't know if the opponent's even aware. Like, they almost need to block first. Okay, so now they can have a Fading Hope and get out of trouble here. This is also tricky, too, because I could make the Steel Seraph unblockable by blue. And that could be kind of fun. Alright, I think the opponent's got it in their hand. Yep, okay. Well, since I activated, I guess they don't have it. Yeah, see, here's the thing. Like, them making that play, I felt like they maybe had a Fading Hope in hand, and now they're waiting for me to target something with Skrelv. Then they could bounce that thing, whatever that thing is, right? So, turns out they didn't, but that's kind of where my mind was. But if they only had Fading Hope left with 2 lands, if I just target the Automaton, then that's it. They can't target that, right? That's why I was saying they kind of needed to block first and then do whatever it is they were going to do. So that way, once I target another thing, they could maybe bounce that other thing, likely being the Simulacrum, and then they just take 3 and they go to 2. Now, they would lose their Haughty Djinn, but they would get to trade for the Automaton, which in this scenario is actually a fine trade for them because it's the best they're going to get, right? Doing it the way they did, now you're in a situation where you phase these 2 things out, or at least are attempting to. If I use Skrelv targeting the Automaton, well, now it doesn't even matter that they have a Fading Hope because they don't have enough mana. Well, I guess Haughty Djinn does make it cost 1 less, so I guess they could, right? No, because you would need 3 total. This makes it 1, 2. Okay, I guess. Yeah, all right, I guess they could have. So I guess then the other play would have been target Steel Seraph, make sure that hits them for 3. They go to 2. Yeah, either way, they're still in a bad situation. We're at 25. If I just make this hit them for 3, they'd have to have just repeated marches for a couple of turns. Is the only way they could stay alive. So yeah, that was an interesting finish there. I guess there were other cards they could have had. Yeah, not a way you expect to win sometimes, but the deck's doing what it's trying to do. So thumbs up, I guess. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. I like it. I like it. We go here. We go into an Automaton. We get to play a Tough Cookie, trigger our things. And then if we get anything to go with the Dissident after that, we're kind of off to the races. So I'm feeling it. Let's go. Please don't have a cut down for our Wormlet. Let's get it out of cut down range before they can do something about it. That would be the game plan. Ah, they have it. Boo. Gotta hate it. But you know what? If they got it, they got it. Gotta give credit where it's due. Okay, I'm gonna go with this since I can go double Cookie next turn. I hate leaving an Automaton weak to a bunch of stuff here, but, you know, cost of doing business. And if they play Liliana here, yeah, I was gonna say, believe it or not, I was gonna pump the Dissident and keep the other thing, so that worked out. Let's go here. Here. Get us some life. Back with this duder. Be sad that we're going to have to figure out a way to deal with Shieldred here. Nope, they're just playing all removal. Alright. It's the all removal Sultai deck. Oh boy, what are we doing here? I feel like if they just go land Gix's command, we're wrecked, right? But we're gonna do it anyway. This is the life we're living today. Got another kill spell for our Gallic Readers, maybe? I'm just gonna go +1 here. Though, maybe, arguably, getting the treasure is important, because then I would have 5 sources, and I could have drawn one to double attack with food, which could have mattered. Okay, I feel like I've seen some versions of this deck now. Now I know what it is. They are playing Shieldred in this build, though. I don't know if all the versions or not are playing Gix's command, though. Alright, let's find a cheap little artifact. I mean, you know, that kind of counts. Yeah? I mean, grow this, so now Gix's command is a lot less scary. I mean, at least we get to keep something. I mean, more removal's more removal if you got it. Alright, they're at 5. And they can definitely draw a card here. There is a world where they could leave us with just Gallic Readers. That is not the world that does such a thing. They can make a big blocker, though. But they're still at 2. Yep, that'll do it. The opponent's username is wild here. I think it's supposed to be War Room MTG UC. I don't know what UC would be. But maybe it's not. I don't know. Alright, more black deck stuff, so we're just going to go here. If they have a cut down, it'll take their whole turn to kill it. Oh, they had an edict. Boo. That's a good answer for that, though. Ninja? Can't say we've seen much of that. Oh boy, what do we do here? I mean, we're obviously going to try to get Skrelv down. I'm just wondering if we like Yoshin Dissident and Skrelv, or do we do Gallic Readers? I feel like maybe that's what we do. Doesn't feel great, though. I mean, I guess we could leave this up and take out the Ninja, too. But I don't think that's quite where we want to be. I'm going to try this. Probably a bad idea. I should probably be killing that Ninja, but here we are. I mean, I'd probably end up with no creatures anyway when this is all done, but we'll see. Right, if they got anything, it's going to be to take the Steel Seraph, I'd imagine. Because Go for the Throat doesn't kill it. And that gives us flying to come over Skrelv. And life gain, potentially. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what I would have done. Ah, Liliana, though.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick.
With what's in our hand, I'm probably sacrificing this.
Personal space.
And just going after Liliana here. Alright.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Let's go here. Into this. Generate a treasure. Get a life back. I feel like I'm maybe going to hold on to this Iganjo for a second. I mean, they know we have it, but, you know, business. Hopeless Nightmare. Well, at least I get something else to discard here, huh? Alright. Have another one? No, they made me discard the other thing anyway, so I just lost the opportunity to have an extra land. How sad. Alright, so they're just playing a discard-heavy black deck is all this turned into. That's good to know. Alright. Play this in the turn. So if we can get any artifact thing here, we're likely to gain life and do some other stuff, so that'd be great. But we got to get there.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when
Sadly, I'm going to get rid of this. I think the others are just worth more to us with the life gain and stuff at this point. Alright, but we got to draw an artifact here. Oh, we failed. We failed. It's so sad. I mean, I guess I'll leave this back. I mean, odds are they're just going to find something to kill it and attack us for 4, but... I mean, I guess if we could find another angel, that'd be pretty sweet. Because even if they get rid of our wormlet, we could gain a couple and then fly over the top. Or maybe just lifelink. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm at 3. I'm dead soon anyway. Shieldred, yep, that'll get us. Alright, well, sadly, we just drew blanks for too many turns. Finally caught up with us. Yep, we're going to keep this. We like this. The only question is, do we wormlets into... let's see if the opponent plays, because wormlet into tough cookie is also reasonable. Alright. I think I am, because they're playing black, I'm going to go ahead and go tough cookie here. Just in case they have, you know, make us sacrifice a permanent thing or whatever. It's a little less damage, obviously. Still leaves our stuff susceptible to cut down, but not much we can do there. Revert, sure. And then they lose a life every upkeep. Sure. Attack with this. Alright. They're at 15. This is just mono black aggro, like old school. Going for the gusto, saying, I'm going to have big bodies. I don't care if they're hitting me every upkeep. Yeah, that's a hell of a decision. I'm going to assume we're not going to need this Beseiju, and it's going to have to come in and do some, as they like to say, some yeoman's work here. Now that's a 6/6. I could pump one of these and attack. All right, opponent scoops. Yeah, my option here were either... I was probably just going to play Machiko's Reign of Truth on the Tough Cookie, attack with those two. That would have been plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would have been a 7 and a 6. They probably, I'm guessing, would have tried to double block the wormlet so that they're not actually taking damage from their own stuff anymore. Choose to maybe block here if you want to. Otherwise, they're taking 7. And then they still have the Machiko's Reign of Truth triggering again next turn. And we get to activate a food token. So yeah, I don't even know. Maybe I just attack with the food and the wormlet there even. Like, there's actual several reasonable choices. But either way, that ended up being a win, and we will take it. Okay, let's keep it. Oh boy, we're playing against some soldiers. Alright. Ooh, how cool would it be if we got another wormlet here, actually? Because wormlet into Skrelv and then next turn play Ozolus would be pretty hot. I mean, in the meantime, we'd also just like to draw more land, because, you know, that's important. That's... I mean, we at least got the land part of this. Alright, I'm going to do this just so I'm able to at least block something bigger. I mean, of course, Brutal Cathar can make this just not matter. Oh, they had a lay down arms. That's gross. I mean, alright. If you got it, you got it. Ain't nothing I can do about it, right? That was a card I was not plotting for, and not much I can do about it. So, go ahead and play this. I mean, not to say they don't just have Brutal Cathar here. Alright. At least we can stonewall them kinda for a second. Not true, actually. They can attack with the Thalia here. Yeah, opponent, just attack us. Wow, the opponent didn't want to attack there. Crazy. Okay, well, we're going to play this then. Play a lookout. No attacks. And then I guess our plan is just going to be try to attack with lookout and get across the finish line that way. It's not going to be pretty, but it might be all we have. Alright, for some reason the opponent is not attacking here, and I do not understand the reasoning or the context. I kind of want to play Steel Seraph, give this lifelink, but then it'd only be getting a point back. I think I'm going to do this. Grow the Automaton, put the counters here, attack for 4 in the air. Now we're starting to get some sizable fighters that the opponent can't do much about. And then if they have something that removes a flyer, we can come in with the Steel Seraph later, and now gaining the extra life makes a difference. Also could at some point just play this, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 10. That's almost good enough by itself. Wow, opponent just said, come with it now. Okay, I mean, they are going to get to replace this with a bunch of 1/1s. That is important here. Let's block. 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 Alright. Something big will be left over, and we can give that lifelinking with the Steel Seraph next turn. I assume this is an Iganjo of some variety. Like, it's got to be the lookout if you're going to kill anything, because that's one thing you can't block here, opponent. Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only thing that makes sense. Alright, we only took 5. We killed a lot of the bigger threats. Shrunk their team down. So, like, that was kind of reasonable overall. I ain't mad at it. Go ahead and play this. Take some damage. But we're going to gain some life back. Giving this lifelink. Backing. Alright, opponent gave up. Alright, let's keep this and see what happens. Ooh, against mono red. This could be tough. But we do have a tough cookie. We do have Steel Seraph. Can we get a 1-mana thing? We cannot. That would have been huge, actually. That would have helped out quite a lot. Alright, we're going to be leaning a lot on the Steel Seraph and hope that it somehow lives. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull that off, but we're going to try our damnedest. While that is a lot of extra damage, that's somewhat comforting that their hand has fewer options now. But some of those have to be burn spells. It's just a matter of which ones. I kind of hope it's a 3 damage spell that they waste on that, so Steel Seraph has a shot next turn. Okay, there we go. We got them to waste a Lightning Strike. Don't know if that's good enough. I mean, I kind of hope that they have just like a creature and play with fire next turn. But I feel like we got to go for it. Alright. So if they kill this, then we're just going to die to the Phoenixes, I think. Because we don't have any life gainers in hand. Here, there's at least a world where we could, like, Dissident, Ozolith, put the counters on the Steel Seraph. Oh, they had another Lightning Strike. Yeah, okay. So that's it. Realistically. I mean, unless we have... No, not that. That's not going to be good enough. Alright. Okay, we're going to keep this one. I'm going to go here. I kind of want to play Automaton after playing the Yoshin Dissidents. But I was going to say, it kind of depends on what we're up against. I think I'll take my 1 point with the Automaton now. That's not bad either, though, for next turn. If this lived, getting to get extra value would be super sweet. Oof. All right, this feels like a gamble, but I'm going to do it. Back for one. And we'll just see what they decide to kill. I assume it's going to be the Wormlet, because that's worth more life. But maybe they want to kill the Dissident so we don't get bigger creatures. Then again, they just deal 1 damage to all of our team, and that sucks too. So lots of ways that this does not go well for us. Is that also a play with fire? No. Alright, so we at least get Dissident for a minute here. Now I'm inclined to just play Steel Seraph. Because I'm going to put the counter here. Just so that's a 4 toughness now. Give this lifelink and try to get in for 1. But the reason I wanted to play Steel Seraph there is now I could play 2 things next turn. Where if I played either of these now and I drew a 4th land, I'm kind of down to playing these again and not playing the Seraph. And the Seraph being able to gain life, obviously, is very important in this fight. But so is drawing an untapped land. Come on, deck. I believe in you. You can do it. Come on. But, oh, you know what, though? If we're not going to get an untapped land, that's the next best thing for sure. For sure. Alright, so lifelink, vigilance. Back. Alright, so we're back at 19. So now they have 2 Seraphs they have to deal with, which is a pretty big deal. Yeah, not going to block. They can +3 these or whatever all they want. It's not worth putting anything in the way here. Yep, you got it. I mean, the fact that I can gain 7 a turn makes it to where it's just not worth putting our stuff at risk. Alright, I'm going to put this down. And if they waste removal to kill that, whatever. Sure. Yeah, so this was actually a fun one. Didn't see the Yoshin Dissident as much as I wanted to, but other than that, I think we saw all the cards. They came in, did what we wanted. Actually, that's not true. We didn't draw Merrick's, I think, in all of that happening. So that was a thing, too. Could have maybe used more Gallagreators, but I think we didn't really see that be a problem. And we had plenty of artifacts, so we were almost always able to trigger stuff. If anything, we might have had too many lands. So you might want to cut back a land and just play 60 cards. I'm at 61 with 23 lands, but the reality is I only have 7 things that cost 3. Everything else is 1 or 2. So it's very possible this could be a 22 land deck, maybe even a 21, and you could find room for another card. But what we ended up playing with were 3 Skrelv, 2 Swooping Lookout, 4 Teething Wormlet, 4 Machiko's Reign of Truth, 2 Gallagreators, 4 Ozolith, 4 Tough Cookie, 4 Yoshin Dissident, 4 Patchwork Automaton, 3 Simian Simulacrum, 4 Steel Seraph, 1 Iganjo, 4 Plains, a Beseju, 3 Forest, 4 Brushland, 4 Overgrown Farmland, 4 Rays of Urge Thicket, and 2 Merrick's. Now, 2 interesting things here. Like I was pointing out a second ago, we could get away with 22 lands, and I would say it's probably even possible to risk 21 lands. We just don't have to have a bunch of mana. Even once we get to 3, we can do a lot. At 4, we can almost always cast 2 things in a turn, and then you don't rarely need more than that. So it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to squeeze in a couple more cards, like I said, and maybe another Gallagreators, maybe you want to, I don't know, play something, you do want a couple of defensive cards, that's where you can maybe cut 2 lands and get away with it. But overall, the mana wasn't too bad. We actually had a reasonable matchup against a lot of different things, which was cool. And just being able to play aggressive things every single turn really forces the opponents to kind of have to play on your terms, because we almost never ran out of gas except for maybe 1 game. Oh, and another side note, against something like the mono-white control-y type decks with all the planeswalkers and sweepers or whatever, like unless you get the super hot start, you're not going to win those fights anyway. I played one of those, but it was just very long and boring, and I just didn't feel like including it in the video. But just wanted to put that out there in case you run into them. You can just concede and move on. Like, can you win? Yes, but it's going to be pretty low percentage chance. And now for today's card spotlight, I want to talk about Aura Shards. This card, still super good in Commander. It gets fringe use in older formats, but Commander, this card does so much. It's cheap to cast. And it actually is somewhat affordable. You can find copies in the like $8 range because they were printed in the mystery boosters and on the list and some other places, but this hasn't had a lot of reprints. And this is the type of card that's good to know about, so when you go through old collections, especially stuff like Invasion, where this card comes from, a lot of times you'll find 4 or 5 of these in there because it's an uncommon, and it goes for as much as $12 to $14 on the high side. Even on buy lists, a lot of times you can get $5, $6, $7 for these. So yeah, it's good to know this type of stuff if you're going to be going through collections. And if you didn't know and you have some of these, well, there you go. You might have something worth a little bit of value. And if you like today's deck and you're a fan of Selesnya decks, we played a really fun one with Domri and the new saga for the Huntsman, and it was really good. So you may want to check that out if you like some token action. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.